been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down one. 6 months in, I ain't down once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She said she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat. I'm just hoping she don't feel. Cause when she do, I don't know what I'ma do. All that I heard that y'all was talking, it was comical. Pull up in your city for the evening, what you trying to do? Cause I'm open to it. I know that you missing, but you gon' get through it. I can help with it if you need that. Go and bring the beat back. I don't really listen to the feedback, nah. Told me that she good, she don't need Jack, nah. I'm real proud of the steps you took just to get to the place that you at today. I couldn't tell you to you straight, I gotta estimate. I wonder if I ought to go here with the pastor say. Now go ahead, get me out of here, I couldn't last a day. I got the city talking about me like I passed away. Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down one. 6 months in, I ain't once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She said she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat. Ooh, and she felt intrigued. Trying to duck the LMPD. Go and get your self-esteem. And she trying to link up. So much we got synced up. Pulled up in the dinged up whip. This ain't Pepto-Biz, what this pink stuff is. Gonna tell me. Yeah, you heard me, you ain't felt me. I've been moving, I've been shaking, go and hit me on the celly. Try to sell me on something while I hold it compelling. Ever since I've been gone like Kelly. They been trying to...
Today, from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals versus Nick Mullins and the San Francisco 49ers.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Takes it at the 7. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cardinals coming out led by Kyler Murray, the offensive rookie of the year a season ago, and back for more here in year number 2.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Throwing on first down is Murray. This one complete to Christian Kirk. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A gain of 9.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 17 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal, and this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
First and 10. At their own.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by a man who rewrote Brett Favre's passing records at Southern Miss. It's Nick Mullins.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Mullins and the Niners now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 7 yards there and a first down. A look at the numbers from a week ago for Reed. 11 catches, 110 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage is not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
First carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10.
Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Williams.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. there's the beauty of Kyler Murray, because we all know he can get it done through the air. Terrific right arm, and nowadays we don't even talk about his height anymore. He's shown that he can see downfield and make throws, but he also possesses wide receiver speed. He can call his own number or scramble and turn it into a big play as well. Kyler Murray, a dual threat at the quarterback position.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun now for Murray. And this is incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quick.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray now to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed, but there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals? For some teams, the best way is to stay focused, stay locked in, go for a perfect season, and then take that open week to rest and heal up before the playoffs begin. For others, okay, we've got it locked in. Let's start to tamp it down a little bit. Get these guys rested and ready to go. All depends on your organization. I think most players would tell you, let's go for the perfect 16-0.
Yeah, I think the fan base, they would usually say that as well, wouldn't they?
They certainly would. The hard part, though, is if you get beat along the way, we should have rested the guys.
Exactly.
You know how it works. That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side is complete to Reed. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Again, looking for Samuel, this time the catch made. And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well. They'll run with Mostert. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance that was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Christian Kirk on the return. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10. At their own
Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wild card spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. James now to return. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Open down the middle of the field. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
First down, 49ers.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 36. Coleman. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
8-yard pickup.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
To throw now on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Deebo Samuel. Touchdown.
Deebo Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Murray now on first down. And this one caught by Max Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Murray a give. This is Drake.
Kenyon Drake.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
first down. Murray on the move to his left. He's going to take off with it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Eric Armstead, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. (17-0) our score after one.
The score, Niners 17, Cardinals nothing.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. From the gun, Murray. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Murray sacked by Fred Warner. A loss of 5.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. James now to return it. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Nick Mullins in the offense set to take over. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
He was tackled at the
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
First down and a little extra for Mostert. And down right around the 37. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He'll find Taylor. That's complete.
Mullins pass.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the Cardinals' 32-yard line.
No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down.
Samuel, incomplete. It's 3rd down. And 5 yards to go.
He'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
At the 9-yard
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Again, he'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat in the driver to get at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
At the 26-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Murray caught left side, Williams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
The 49er.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, Mostert. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Ball carrier.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Jordan Reed has it. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 9 yards.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd and 3. That'll be caught right side by Reed. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
A quick throw complete into the flat out left. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trent Taylor, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers continue to roll. Now Gold for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25.
Kyler Murray going to lead the Cardinals back out on offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line. So
Murray fighting, lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Fumble on the play. Recovery.
Think about it, Charles. This is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot. In that time, he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get into the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for Ayuk, and he's got him. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And he'll bang that one through. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, if they're out there, we'll see if they can pick those things back up. Throwing again on second down. Murray. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
What a breakout season Raheem Mostert had in 2019, and now he's got a chance to be the lead back for his team. In fact, he spent time in the offseason bulking up, trying to get stronger to absorb the extra hits and be available for more snaps. He wants to be a guy who carries the ball from game 1 all the way through game 16 in the regular season.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Samuel bringing in the slant. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
K'Waun Williams, the one that got him down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got him pinned down deep. And on the first play,
they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by K'Waun Williams. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Defense.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And the 49ers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
58. Off the screen. Off the screen. Off the screen. Off the screen.
The quick slant caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
San Francisco.
Kyle Juszczyk. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Shotgun now for Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Forced out to his left. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Drake.
Murray's pass.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. The Panthers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Ben Roethlisberger at it again. 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Calvin Ridley, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, it was Nick Mullins with a strong first half throwing the football. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Taken in the end zone. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Byron Murphy.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Raheem Mostert averaged 5.6 yards per carry last year. That was 2nd in the NFL. So it's safe to say that it paid off that he patterned his work ethic after his hero, Frank Gore, the former 49er. That's a guy who really shows you how to go out and get it done each and every day. Raheem Mostert patterned him and had a breakout season in 2019 with the 49ers.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. After the turnover, here's Murray. Fitzgerald on the slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Not much there, only a yard.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Caught left side, Hopkins. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
From the gun, Murray. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
57.
On 2nd and 15 now. Murray, this will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 7.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Big series right here. We got to step it up. 57 Mike 57.
Murray to air it out again. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Niners 45, Cardinals 3.
Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Mullins and the Niners now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
That's out to the left, flat and complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes...
And this is taken in at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's Mostert, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
San Francisco.
Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 29, 2 short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and a defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Gold with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
The football going back over to Arizona now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Murray. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Cardinal 1st down on a gain of 13.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half. And that trend is continuing here.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
I'm here all day. 57's Mike.
From the gun, Murray. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
3-yard loss on the play.
And there's Kyler Murray being sacked, and in his 1st year in the league, surprising to a lot of people, he was the most sacked quarterback, went down 48 times. And when you think about the mobility that he possesses, that really does surprise people because they think they can get out of everything. But so often, those young guys who can move around a lot, they keep plays alive so long that sometimes they actually get trapped. Defenses are going to test him and continue to test him. I think he's got something for them as he continues to move forward.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
49ers.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They go play action here on first down. Gets this one to Juszczyk. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Complete to Kyle Juszczyk.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season. Now Mostert. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
2nd and 4. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends, who you would think could absorb that contact.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Right back to Dre. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. And on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he finds the tight end, Reed. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mostert. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run with Coleman on first down, and he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The ball carrier, Isaiah Simmons, on the tackle.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and up forced the incompletion.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Mike, check, 59.
Oh, look at this play call. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman.
Murray's pass intercepted by the 49ers.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Here we go. 72.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Mike, check, 59.
Here's Mostert. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st down, they go with Mostert again.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Jordan Hicks, third in the NFL in tackles a year ago, there to make the play.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Samuel bringing in the slant. And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. This is Mostert. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
From the 4 now, 3rd and goal. Yeah, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. All right, ball at the 1-yard line, 4th down. What do you say?
I say go, because if you can't get 1 yard, what's the old adage? If I can't get 1 yard, I don't deserve to win anyway. Tell your team it's that time. Who's going to get down into the trenches, grind it out, and make sure that ball gets in the end zone? Who's it going to be? Let's go do it.
It's time to learn that. Mess around and put that thing up where you burn that. 6 figures every year, yeah, earn that. At the front of this line is where my turn at.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final...
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
On the return, the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, Murray. Fitzgerald's got it right side. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost up.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Murray with a 3rd and long. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That's good for a Cardinal.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
2nd and 10.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Kirk. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. Here it's 3rd and 2.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense. Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Niners 66, Cardinals 6.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Richie James on the return. The Niners take over 1st and 10. At their own 26.
Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Mostert, the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Mostert.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. That's going to be caught. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. Put a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Cardinals 6.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.